Are psychic abilities real? Based on my experiences, yes, they are real. I did not believe in them before, but I've had many experiences that show to me that the probability of them not being real would be unreasonable. So I do believe in psychic abilities based on my lived experience. You may have not experienced it before. I would say that if you really wanted to experience these things, you wouldn't focus on these things. You would focus on your lifestyle, meditation practice, diet, exercise, eliminating certain stimulations from your life, such as pornography, overstimulation of the sexual organs, overstimulation of dopamine hits like shorts, drugs, alcohol. These things are all going to hinder your ability to see what's actually going on behind the veil. And there is something going on, because I can't really explain the experiences that I've had and that I continue to have. I'm actually a little worried about it because they happen quite often. And they've been happening more recently because I've been more into fasting, more into meditating, more into my Qigong practices, more into celibacy practices. And I've been eliminating as much stimulation in my life as possible, and I'm just seeing things that I can't explain. I'm seeing abilities to guess things that don't seem guessable. And I'm just processing it myself right now, to be honest. That's why I'm making this video. Because I just did another experiment of mine to locate something on the map based on random coordinates that I have no idea what it is. And it was successful once again. I did it about 4 times and it was successful every single time. And after the 4th one, I'm just like, okay, I gotta stop this. This is getting crazy. I'm feeling weird. I'm not feeling normal. I'm feeling like this cannot be coincidence that I get an exact location of some monument, some random monument correct again. I started doing this experiment because I heard about in the past, in the Cold War, they were doing experiments just like this with remote viewing, Project Stargate. And the evidence that they had was quite significant as well. And if our government is spending millions and millions of dollars on these types of experiment, there must be some kind of truth to it. So I took it upon myself to run a similar experiment. And it seems to work. It seems to work. And these aren't the first psychic experience that I've had. I've had psychic experiences where I am having a conversation with someone that I know in deep meditation, and then when I see that person, they bring up something within the psychic conversation that I was having with myself. I've had other conversations where, I've had other psychic experiences where things happen to me in a dream, and the next day, that literal thing that happened in the dream actually happened in real life, and it was just some totally random event, but an emotionally stimulating one. Most of the times when I have these dreams that automatically happen in real life the next day, usually those events are very emotionally stimulating to me for some reason. So it seems like my psyche is able to pick up things that happen in real life, things that are very emotional to me. Because these were totally random events, but in my real life, they affected me a lot emotionally. So there seems to be a connection between the psychic abilities and the emotions. However, I cannot say that I've predicted the future. All I can say is that I've experienced the present moment in ways that shouldn't be possible, if that makes sense. I haven't predicted the future yet. I think that would be very difficult to even prove that that's a psychic ability or not, because we probably think a million thoughts about the future at once, and any of them can happen. But there's some things you just can't explain, like how an event happens, how the exact event that you dreamt about happens while you're sleeping the next day, or not even the next day, maybe at the same time, because a lot of these events that I've dreamed about myself, I woke up realizing that they had already happened. So they may have, these events most likely happened while I was asleep. Actually, a few of them I actually know that they happened while I was asleep. So I'm not saying that I predicted the future or anything. I'm saying that I was able to view things or experience things that were not in my physical surroundings, that I could not see, feel, hear, touch, smell, but for some reason my brain picked up on them, and that's what I've experienced. I'm just sharing my raw, honest experience here. I'm not claiming to know anything that I'm not claiming to have any sort of secret knowledge or anything like that, or secret occult knowledge. I'm just sharing my vulnerable personal experience. I know people are gonna maybe think I'm crazy, but this is just my experience. It is just my experience. And these experiences, like I said, have been amplifying the more that I'm remaining sexually pure, meditating, and being on a very, very pure diet, which is why I appear quite skinny, but it does seem to increase my psychic abilities, if you're going to call it that. I just wanted to make this video to let people know you're not crazy if you have psychic experiences. I don't think it's crazy. Our government, Russia's government, many governments around the world have spent millions and millions of dollars on, hundreds of millions of dollars on these types of experiments. So there's obviously something going on here if governments are willing to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on these types of things. I don't think that they would be spending all this money on something that had no merit to it. Okay, so I don't think you're crazy if you've had psychic experiences. I think that there's some things that either have been withheld from us or science has not catch up to yet. Although science does speak of something such as space-time, space-time where space is all connected actually, and you can take one point and connect it to another point, and they believe in things like teleportation because space-time can bend and it's all connected in some way. There has to be some sort of energy field that's connecting all matter. I don't think that it could be any other way. And the psychic abilities is our natural ability, I think, to tap into this space-time energy field, whatever you want to call it, that's connecting all physical matter. So you're not crazy if you have psychic experiences. I think this is actually something very real. And I'm just processing it myself, to be honest. I'm just processing it myself. So, with that being said, guys, have a beautiful day. I'll see you in the next video.